one guy that's been around recently, but not since WrestleMania, is The Rock. He leaves Adam. He has that hernia surgery. Now the doubt is planted whether or not he will ever return to the ring. But my question is, was The Rock better in this incarnation, or was The Rock version 1.0 better? I know that you have a strong opinion on this.
I enjoyed watching The Rock this year more than I did last year before his match with John Cena and the whole interaction and the war of words they had going on. He was much better. He just seemed rusty the first time. He was rusty on the mic. He got embarrassed by PG John Cena on the mic week after week, whether it was the Rock concert versus the rap battle, which it was just standing in the middle of the ring going toe-to-toe. John Cena, the PG version, is not great on the mic. The Dr. Thugonomics, you lose to that guy, there's no shame in that. But that's not what he presents himself. Although he did drop a couple of raps.
Yes, he did.
So, but he's not as, to me, he's also not as good in the ring, to be honest with you. He's still athletic. He still moves well, but you can just tell he's rusty. You can just tell it's not quite as good. And another thing, it drives me nuts that he just comes and goes. He talks about he's back. And then he's here for 2 months and gone for 10. And then he shows up randomly at Raw 1000, sets up the storyline with CM Punk for the Royal Rumble, sets up the storyline with John Cena because John Cena sees him in the back, says, I'd like a rematch. It's for WrestleMania. It's all done on one night. It drives me nuts. I want a guy that's there week after week and doesn't just show up when it's convenient. And the other thing that drove me nuts, when he started to get heat for saying he was back and then he didn't show up week after week, he came out to the ring and said, well, WWE fans are smarter than this. They knew I didn't mean week after week. Absolutely not. I thought he meant week after week.
Hey,
that is exactly what I thought he meant. And everybody else thought too. And he tried to play, I'm a Rock fan, second favorite wrestler of all time.
Okay.
So let me get that out of the way. It's just frustrating to me because I want to see more of The Rock. He played almost the suck-up card to the fans, like you're smarter than that, trying to cover up his own boo-boo.
It's hard for me to argue with your points. It really is. But you, Adam, you are missing a huge point here.
Okay.
And the fact of the matter is, Rock 2.0, better for business than Rock 1.0. Now, what do I mean by this? Rock 1.0 had an isolated audience. He only had that pro wrestling audience to generate pay-per-view buys, to generate interest for WWE, then WWF. Okay? But now he goes away, he goes to Hollywood, establishes himself as not only a major star in the United States on the silver screen, but a huge movie star around the world. So now he comes back to the WWE and he brings that audience with him, as well as that loyal audience from his first time in the squared circle. And you put those two together, and what do you have? More eyeballs on your product. WWE, a wise move to bring back The Rock. That's why you got the buy rate that you did at WrestleMania.
Whoa. It is a wise move to bring back The Rock. I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying The Rock isn't quite as good now as he was before. But you talk about the buy rate at WrestleMania, and you're talking about how he's supposed to bring in all these eyes and all this extra money. Here's what's interesting. They're starting to get the numbers back from the buy rate at WrestleMania. The WrestleMania buy rate was very low. It was not good.
Compared to years past.
It was exactly. What else are you going to compare it to?
But
you're going to compare it to something that doesn't exist. Well, next year at WrestleMania, we're going to blow that out of the water with this year. What?
Yeah, but imagine had he not been there. Okay.
Well, they would have pumped up something else. They would have had another guy come back.
Yeah, but it's obvious that the interest in WrestleMania this year was not what it was. Bottom line, they had 10 matches on the card, none of which really generated mega interest beyond CM Punk and The Undertaker among wrestling fans. You needed to have some sort of outside attraction come in. And I'm sorry, Maria Menounos from Access Hollywood or whatever it is, she's not going to get you any extra buys. You needed somebody like The Rock.
You're probably sending her extra little creepy flowers too, just like you did Caitlyn. But The Rock and John Cena, they've had 2 matches. Right. We did a segment where we talked about the 5 greatest matches of all time at WrestleMania.
Right.
Neither one of those matches are in the top 5. Several times when we looked online, Rock versus Hogan was in a lot of people's top 10s, top 5s. Rock versus Stone Cold was in there. The Rock of 10 years ago and what he did 10 years ago, he was mentioned, not The Rock of today. He's not quite as good, and the buy rates don't even back up your argument.
Yeah, but wrestling inherently in itself was also more popular at that time.
If he's so good, he should be bringing all these people back. I don't have time to list all the shortcomings in your argument here, Chuck.
That's very big of you, Adam.
That is very big of me.